Hey everybody, we're talking to Brenda Orduno today. Brenda has been receiving mentorship from us for a couple of years, and so Brenda's just going to quickly share about what shape she was in when she first came to us, and how things have changed, the benefits that she has received from the mentorship. So take it away, Brenda.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Brenda. I am in Los Angeles, California, and I've been mentoring with Pastor Jeeva for about 4 years. I think this summer is going to be my fourth year, if I'm not mistaken. And like Pastor Jeeva said, as far as like how my spiritual side or how I was prior to mentorship, it's just really hard to even remember because I've been on cloud nine. I always had a vision for my life and how I would be connected with God. I would have a healthy environment, with friends and family and spiritually. And it was all just what I dreamed and desired. I never had a plan to action. And that's just because I didn't have the mentorship. I didn't needed mentorship. I know there was mentorship. I didn't know I was in need because I lived a good life. I was healthy. I was what's the word I'm looking for? Comfortable. I was comfortable. I wasn't like, completely in a bad shape, but spiritually and personally, I didn't have an identity and I didn't have the relationship I wanted with God. I had a relationship. I just didn't know it could evolve to where it's now. So before 4 years ago, I can't even say, that I was anybody. I was just coasting through life. I was just floating, and whatever direction it would take me in, I would go there. And now, of course, it's completely different. My relationship with God and even my life, I have so much control, so much peace, and I just couldn't be happier.
Yeah. So Brenda, what would you say are some of the aspects of the mentorship that you found to be, really helpful, that were very impactful?
I think it was just knowledge and the community that you build, Pastor Jiva. Of course, I wish I could have, be on the phone with you and call you and text you after every action and every meeting and every conversation. But you really learn how to have that confidence and have that faith to believe, and then have a community of friends that are also in the group where I could be like, hey, I don't feel like I should talk to Pastor Jiva because I want to gain the confidence, and I know I'm still going to talk to him, but what do you think, and so forth. And these are lifelong friends that have been established, and so I feel like that was really important to gain the confidence. So I feel like before, I used to really, like, if something would happen, whether it was good or bad, I would just sit on it, overthink it, just waste my time, and the next thing you know, the opportunity is gone. And so I feel like within the last 4 years, it's not that I'm impulsive, it's just I'm really confident, and being able to hear from God has definitely sped up my success. And I believe, Pastor Juva, you told me that with God it's like 7 times or 10 times more accurate. I don't remember the number, but it has been. These last 3 years have completely evolved so quickly
Okay.
and
So Brenda,
consistent.
oh, awesome. So Brenda, tell everybody a little bit about your background in terms of your profession, and how the mentorship has impacted your professional life.
Okay, yeah. So professionally, I am a makeup artist, and although there is like a paved way for makeup artists, there's just so many avenues that you can take. And so before I could even say I was a makeup artist, I worked for someone as a makeup artist and separately in administrative. I had to always have administrative work to be able to like financially get through, and because I was so good at it, I didn't have a problem. But that's just kind of the role I was in for so long, and that kind of jump started my career. I never I always had a dream to be an entrepreneur and to be a business person, but I felt like, oh, I have to be like 40, 50, 60 to be able to save up enough money and just, work independently. Like, and I feel like I am living proof of where I'm at now, that with God by your side, you can do anything and you can accelerate that process, because now I am 100% an independent contractor. And if you need to say a name, I'm a beauty business consultant and a makeup artist. So of course I'm a makeup artist. I actually work in a lot of networks now. Before Pastor Jeeva, like I said, I was just working for someone as a makeup artist and administratively, which was very, very financially limiting. And so now I do my own schedule. I'm my own boss. I have I think 6 clients now. Some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time, but I am 100% independent. And Pastor Jeeva would release words to me throughout the years, like, you don't have to do anything, like people, you're going to be highlighted. And, he would release these words that were just, my mind and my faith wasn't there, that I couldn't even begin to dream about it. And now I'm like, Pastor Jeeva, it's all happening. And so, that's where I'm at now. I'm 100% independent beauty business consultant here in Los Angeles. And like Pastor Jeeva told me, I don't look for business. Business comes to me.
Awesome. Brenda, share a little bit about how the mentorship has impacted your personal life, your family life, your marriage, and those areas.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, of course, everything has been a work in progress. The more that I follow your principles, the more that I spend time with God. I don't want to say 100%, but I don't suffer from anxiety anymore. I used to have really, really bad anxiety, and that was just because lack of faith. Honestly, it was just overthinking things. It was just thoughts that were created that didn't exist in my head. And so I am, I would say, on day-to-day basis, anxiety free. My surrounding, as far as like friends and business people that I work with, couldn't be any better, just because even though I don't have so much time independently as a business consultant, I don't have to work for the trust. It is more free range. And I feel like that's because of my God. People trust me. I'm a trustworthy person. And so business-wise, it's been amazing. I have, when I freelance, I have the most amazing clients. And the way that I know that they appreciate me is because I have customers cry in my chair, like, wow, it was meant to be. And I help them and I lead them, in the best way that I can in that short amount of time that I'm with them, if they need help. And I always pray to God to bring me the people that need him and to use me as a vessel in their spiritual journey. And so, I have clients that cry. I have clients that reach out to me, or honestly, I have clients that just continue to come to me. And sometimes I have clients that book me just because they want my presence, not that they need to get their makeup done, but they're just like, I need you. I need your energy. I need your, your, like just that love that I give to my clients. And in my marriage, it has been a journey. And so I've never been more confident my whole life. And it's been a really long time that I've been with him. And I haven't been this confident as a person and in my relationship as a mother ever.
Awesome. All right. So Brenda, maybe I'll get you to share a little bit about when you talked about business coming to you or opportunities coming to you. You don't have to mention names and so on, but just give an idea to folks about what are some opportunities that have come to you since you began the mentorship that you really would not have expected or definitely had not experienced before that.
Absolutely. Honestly, everything, Pastor Jeeva, my resume has definitely beefed up in such a short amount of time. And when I say that I don't even have an updated resume. I don't look for work. I don't do it. And the people that I get positioned with pave the way for me. And so like my clients, I work a lot in the Latin market, and it's been really, really good. And I got not comfortable. I felt like I was already ready to grow. And just in my heart, I had a little thought, it was just a thought, like, maybe I want to tap into the American market. It's a lot harder. it's almost impossible to break into the American market. It's really, really hard just because I have been in the Latin market for so long and I was already, a recognized person. But even though I was on top there, I wanted the challenge and my heart desired that. And of course, here comes God to say, it's what your heart desires, I will do. And so within like 2-3 months, I have like I can't even say because of the confidentiality, but the working from one day to another, literally, with the most recognized makeup icons of the American market in one day, like from one day to another, it just happened. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm still working in the Latin market, but that's just one of many, many, many opportunities that has happened.
And Brenda, one of the things that that really I was quite excited for you is where people wanted to take you with them, whether they were traveling or invited you to go and gave you jobs in other cities and were willing to pay your way and provide you accommodations and all that kind of stuff. And those kind of experiences were really new to you, weren't they?
Yeah, Pastor Jeeva, you always said that in the beginning, like your heart desires to travel and work. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because I do like to travel, but I was never around business people to the magnitude that I am now. So I never believed it could happen. Logically, I never thought, because I'm like, no, that's too expensive. The fees, the traveling, the ride transportation. But now I literally just came back out of town last night or this morning at 4 a.m. And I leave in 2 weeks somewhere else. And it's just unbelievable because I get to travel and I get to work and I love to work and I get to pick. I'm in a position right now where I can pick who I want to work with and who I don't. So before it was more like, okay, my mentality was like, just work with anybody who wants to work with you. And now it's like, okay, I get to say yes or no because I'm not in the need to have to pick up anybody. So earlier this year, I had to reject 2 clients just because I wasn't ready. It wasn't something that I was, not that I wasn't ready. My heart wasn't there. And so I didn't, because something bigger came right after that. And it was just having to be obedient because it was a good offer, at the moment on January 1st, when it's supposed to be the slowest time of the year. It was the busiest for me.
Yeah. And another thing that I recall you telling me is one of your desires was to really, do some work with what would be recognized as a major television network in the Latin world. And I think we can mention names if you'd like. But that was another dream come true for you as well.
Yes, so many dreams come true, and every time they do, I'm like, this can't be real. And that's when you just know and feel God's love. And so, yes, I do work for Univision. It's one of the dominating Latin networks in America. And not only do I work with them, but I freelance works just depending on my clients, but I do have access to working with the other ones as well as Univision. But Univision, I used to drive by the 405 freeway out here where I live, and that's where the headquarters was a couple years, but now they moved to Miami, but they still have the location here. And I remember driving by, and I used to say, I know I'm going to work there one day. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know if I'm going to be like the parking attendant, but I know I'm going to work there. And yes, I do. I have had the chance to work there, even though I do work on location sometimes. But that was a big, big dream. And I feel like once that happened, it was just like, there's no turning back at all.
Awesome. So Brenda, finally, a question for somebody who is considering, receiving mentorship, but is still kind of undecided, on the fence. What would you tell them? Why should they actually seek mentorship with us?
Honestly, the first thing that I always tell people is once I talk to you, Pastor Jeeva, and your wife, Salojana, you just feel peace. That's it. Like, you just feel peace. You forget about anything that's happening behind that door. You just forget. It could be the worst day of your life, and you just bring that peace and that wisdom and that presence that you have. But other than that, because a lot of times we look for instant gratification, we look for instant results, we look for instant like things, and the instant thing that you definitely bring is that peace. So to me, peace, obviously, as you get older, you know that it's you can't put a price to that, you know. And so there are times where I have no peace, or I'm like very anxious, and I just have to say, hey, Pastor Jeeva, can you take that call? And after that, everything goes away, everything. And so aside from that, because that's like instant, it's more about yourself. If you see yourself better, if you have that craving and the desire to be a better person, to have a better relationship with God, I know that for sure the most challenging part is going to be the self-investment, and that's what you have to do. You have to invest in yourself and believe in yourself that you could be there, that you are worth it, and that God does desire that relationship with you, and you have to have that confidence. And once you make that decision, you will slowly see everything else evolve. Once your mind turns into gear, and you learn your principles and you discipline yourself, because it's not easy. It was so hard. Not the spiritual walk, but the changes that I had to make. It was hard because I already had these habits and these character issues for so long that I never knew were a problem. And so once I changed that, it's been the best thing of my like. And another thing is, when you reach some level of success, or like you get a raise at work or something, you always turn to fear, like, oh my gosh, don't mess up, or oh my gosh, what if someone does something and says something bad? And I don't go through that anymore. Before, it was always like, identity crisis and insecurities, and now I'm confident in what God has spoken to me about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Brenda, for taking this time and sharing with everybody some of the benefits of mentorship with us. And I know that this is only the beginning of the journey for you. God has great plans for you, and we look forward to walking this journey with you even more into the future. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we just finished talking to Brenda Orduno, who is a beauty consultant from Los Angeles, California.